Batenga, represented by Brigadier General Federico Ruiz, the officers and members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the officers and staff of the Philippine Veterans Association, mga mahal kong kababayan, ladies and gentlemen, palakpakan niyo po ang inyong mga sarili, lalo na po yung mga pinalakpakan kaninang mas maaga ng magsalitaan muna sa akin. Nakasakasan niyo po kaya? So, a God-blessed, good, Holy Tuesday to everyone. And with the presence of our Almighty God, of course, I'm quite sure that my beloved father, Lieutenant Colonel Francisco Panching Belinda Tan Gana, together with my late mom, Belinda Tan Gana, and my late brother, Sani, I'm quite sure that they are here right now to join us in this honoring. And of course, to all the other war heroes, most especially the World War II veterans, who are really, I'm quite sure, are proudly and happily present. And for those who are dead, they are present in spirit at this momentous event. I am Belinda Tan Gana Cariño, and I am my Tatay Panching's baby, the little naughty girl, and his cute, pretty woman then. That was then. I am ready, actually, I prepared a sharing experience to show you how proud we are of our father. But I rather it's an impression. But anyway, since he had been dead for 12 years now, and my only regret is that he should have been honored when he was still alive, because he passed on to the next life when he was around nearly 94 years old. So the best years of my life were the years during the war. Itong mga salitang ito ang malingit ipagyabang ng tatay namin. Each time he told his World War II experiences to us, his family, and his friends, countless times, lunch, dinner, yung breakfast lang, hindi ako nakaka-join, hindi kasi ako nagbe-breakfast. So, and with due respect to all those who lost their loved ones during the war, I will explain to you his reason for saying that. Yes, Tatay Panching was in command of many other gallant soldiers fighting a war in Panay Island. In fact, he has a book wherein he was mentioned several times, The Guerrilla Warfare in Panay of the Philippines. His word was always an order to be strictly followed. Sabi nga ng tatay ko, ako ang commanding officer nila at dapat silang sumunod sa mga utos ko, because every day we all face the constant peril of death. But when asked why he considered the war as his best years, when all those years he was separated, incomunicado, ika nga, from his loving wife, my mom Remedios, and 2 children, his answer was short. I was driven by my dreams to serve the flag and my country. My duty and responsibility to fight the aggressors of my motherland were too much for me to refuse. Yet there were never bitterness in him, because he believed that all soldiers, Filipinos and Japanese invaders as well, have a solemn oath to carry out for their beloved country. Sometime in the early 90s, a few of the officers and men he fought side by side in Iloilo province visited our tatay for a sentimental reunion. And this was what one of his junior officers said, with tears in his eyes, believe it or not. Ang tatay niyo ay isang tunay na matapang at tapat na pinuno, kung kaya't siya ay mabilis na promote mula second lieutenant hanggang maging major bago matapos ang digmaan. Buhay kami ngayon dahil sa kanyang kabayanihan, di lamang minsan kung hindi makailang ulit. Ipagmalaki ninyo ang ama ninyo tulad ng pagmamalaki namin sa inyong ama bilang isang magiting na sundalo. I vividly remember those words because I was also in tears when I heard that. I was then so proud being his daughter, and much more now that he is posthumously honored at this sunset ceremony and in this venue. But at the same time, so sad also because my mother, who equally sacrificed so much during the war, was no longer with us to hear these words. We, my 3 brothers and 3 sisters, all grew up in an environment of discipline, and we also faced the consistent peril of punishment. My tatay's chinelas. Hindi po si Jesse Robredo. He was strict, but deep inside his heart, he was very loving, understanding, and affectionate to us. He was a dependable provider for our education and our family's needs. Our eldest, who is a doctor, actually is a product of yung pong libreng edukasyon ng veterans. Napakatipid nga niya para sa sarili niya, but very generous to us, his children, and especially to his grandchildren, whom he regularly gave weekly baon. Summer was always a much-awaited grand vacation the grandchildren looked forward to because the whole Tan Gana family always went abroad, all expenses paid, courtesy of our generous tatay, then Lolo Panching. After each Christmas Eve midnight mass, people will gather inside the church which our tatay built for our parish to fall in line and receive pamasko from tatay. And in the evening of Christmas Day, a long line of relatives and friends will also gather at our ancestral home to receive pamasko from our tatay. In many elections during the 50s and 60s, he was repeatedly requested to run for a local government position. But each time, he politely declined. I have already served my country during the war. It is now time for me to dedicate myself to my family. Yet, he was elected a municipal councilor of Libingan, Laguna, for 1 term of 4 years without much campaigning. He was not very active in non-governmental organizations, but he was always generous in financing civic projects, especially for the underprivileged. Being a licensed civil engineer with a business mind, he established 3 family corporations: the Don Vicente Construction Company, the Taguig City Incorporated, and the St. Francis Homes Development Corporation, which I, together with my 2 brothers, 3 sisters, and a nephew, now manage. In January 22, 2005, our beloved Taytay, Lieutenant Colonel Francisco L. Tan Gana, retired, passed on to the next life at the age of 93, almost 94. He was buried in our hometown of Bayani, Laguna, beside our nanay, Remedios, with full military honors. Today, he is dearly loved, admired, and still remembered by his family and those whose lives he had touched and blessed. Before I end, allow me to congratulate the other equally deserving honorees and their families. To the dedicated men and women of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, may these heroes you honor today be your source of inspiration. In behalf of the Tan Gana family, I also would like to express our profound gratitude to the Philippine Veterans Affairs Office for this very prestigious award for our tatay. Special thanks also go to the very close friend and drinking buddy of our tatay, Rola Mauricio, over there. Palakpakan po natin siya. A fraternity brother of my husband, because this recognition was made possible through him. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. Magandang hapon po. Hindi ko po alam kung gabi na. So God bless us all and have a blessed and meaningful Holy Week. Marami pong salamat.